So I've been an Android user for quite a number of years. Not always. I was originally an iPhone user, and then at some point, for whatever reason, I ended up making the switch over to Android. And my first Android phone was an LG Stylo 4, which I thought was a great phone. It took great photos, and the video quality was just excellent. Of course, back then, I was just starting to dabble with content creation and making videos for social media. I didn't have any formal camera gear other than just a point-and-shoot camera, so for everything that I did, which was very limited, I relied solely on the LG Stylo 4, and it worked out great. Now, within time, I ended up purchasing a couple of cameras and lenses and other gear, and started using that exclusively for video making and content creation. So the idea of using a smartphone just wasn't that big of a deal anymore. And like most people, I went on to upgrade and change phones. The last phone that I had, Android-wise, was the Samsung Galaxy up until recently. And there again, I wasn't really using it for any kind of content creation. I was still using my actual camera gear. But you know what happens once you have traditional cameras? You find yourself running into those situations where you think, you know, my gosh, it would be great if I didn't have to lug around a heavy camera or a heavy lens just to make a quick video of something or take a few photos. It would be great if I could just do that with my smartphone. Now, as far as photos, I had no problem. The Samsung Galaxy does take great photos. Where I ran into the problem was with video quality. No matter what I tried, it always had a problem with focus pulsing, and so the footage that you would get really wasn't usable. Yeah, you could chop it up and use bits and pieces, but for anything lengthy, the focus pulsing was really an issue. So that was kind of the final straw where I decided I'm done with Android. So I started looking around, and nothing else really appealed to me. The Google Pixel just didn't jump out to me. So I turned my attention back to the iPhone. Now, a friend of mine had an iPhone 14 Pro Max. It was great. It has all the bells and the whistles, the larger storage capacity. Overall, a great phone. If I didn't have any traditional cameras and I was relying solely on using my smartphone for all my content creation and everything, then naturally that would probably be the path that I would choose. But I'm really not a big phone user. I don't spend, every single waking moment on my smartphone. I'm just looking for something to use on occasion for some quick videos or to take a few photos now and then, nothing major. So for me, I thought the i14 Pro Max might be just a little too much. So which one did I choose? Well, apparently it's kind of a surprise to most people who have found out. Of course, I chose the iPhone 13 mini. Got it right here. And again, most everybody that knows me is very surprised by it. I know I've seen a couple of other YouTubers are using it. A few have even made the switch from something else to the iPhone 13 mini. Now, I will admit, when it first came in, I'd ordered it online. And when it arrived and I unboxed it and took a look at it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is really small. This is going to take some getting used to because my Samsung Galaxy was such a large phone, and it does take a little bit of getting used to. And yes, I've heard all the stories about the battery life, but there again, I'm not a heavy smartphone user, so for just an occasional use, I think it'll work out just fine. And I do like the size. When you actually have traditional camera gear and you're trying to lug that around, a lot of it's heavy and bulky and you've got lenses. It's kind of nice to have a small phone that actually fits in your pocket. You can actually tuck down in your pocket, and there's one less bulky thing to worry about. And as far as the quality of the photos and the video, so far I'm impressed. Now, I've only had it for a few days, so I haven't been anywhere extravagant to test it out. I've really been just using it here and there around the house and around town. But so far, I'm happy with the overall performance. And I do have a few examples. And right now I am on the iPhone 13 mini on the front-facing selfie camera. I do have cinematic mode on, and just walking around out on the back deck. So you can see the overall image quality. And then the rear-facing camera as we watch a squirrel in my backyard. And let's turn it around on me on the rear-facing camera. Again, on the iPhone 13 mini. Now, this may not be the right phone for you. So who is it for? Well, if you are a heavy phone user and you use your smartphone for all of your content creation, do everything on your phone, then you probably want to lean more towards the 14 Pro Max or something like that. But if you're a casual user like me and you just want something to occasionally use to take a video or take some photos, then this phone might be for you. And I guess only time will tell if I made the right decision or not. But let me know, what do you think? Did I get it right or did I get it wrong with this phone?